Hi everyone, Mary here, and welcome to a very long overdue edition of Books and Cookies Book Talk. I'm back to business and back to talking books with you guys. In today's video, I wanted to tackle a bit the idea of the benefit of books that deal with problematic issues. These are just some of the books that I will be briefly talking about today, hopefully not very extensively, because I have come to really enjoy and appreciate the books that aren't afraid of speaking out about sensitive material. First off, a huge trigger warning for everyone who has dealt with issues like depression, suicidal thoughts, eating disorders. I won't be very specific in this video, but I'm still issuing a trigger warning to all of you guys. Please stay safe. Most of us read in order to escape. We find a book world in which we can immerse ourselves in order to forget about our daily problems. We read to we read to feel magic, And there are a lot of books out there that can cater to these needs. At the same time, as I've mentioned, lately I've been very drawn to books that they don't leave you with that fuzzy feeling that you get when you enter a book world. They're very raw, they're very intense, and they deal with things that very many of us have been facing. Because the problem with society today is that we treat mental illness as something that is superficial. So I think I've mentioned in a video before that we don't treat mental illness the same way that we treat an ailment of the body. It's being dismissed as make-believe. It's being dismissed as something that's not very serious. But what we fail to realize is that more and more people are dealing with depression, with suicidal tendencies, with things that we brush under the rug because it's easier that way, instead of actually listening to the people that are around us who need help. They're dealing with something, but they're very, they're not very eager to speak out because they're afraid that people would brush them off, because they're afraid that people won't take them seriously. So why bother speaking out and asking for help when they're not received with enough caring and warmth in order for people to actually do something about it? Every day kids come home from school after being bullied. Then they're praying for everything to just stop, and they're praying for the end of high school to come. They're praying that college will be better or that life would be better. Every day girls and boys look at magazines and they starve themselves and they consider food an enemy because society has come to instate a level of perfection that's impossible to achieve. Every day people wake up in the morning and they ask themselves, why do I keep doing this? Is it worth it to wake up tomorrow? Will anyone notice that I'm gone? Every day girls and boys and people in general get abused, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's sexual. They get abused, and in the moment that they speak out, the perpetrator of the abuse is considered the victim, not them. They're ridiculed and they're accused of ruining the abuser's life by speaking out and bringing these accusations. No, this is not okay. And while it's very difficult to change this as a society because it's difficult. We live in a world that's like 6 billion people strong. It's very difficult to change something like this as a society, but what we can change is our perception of it, and what we can change can come from very little things, and it's very difficult to learn about these things in a very, maybe scientific way, So this is why we have these books. These are fictional. These tell fictional stories. So they're not real. They're in the sense that they aren't telling the story of someone in particular. But it's easier to read these and to identify with the characters. It's easier to empathize, to understand their struggles at a more personal level because you resonate with them and with their story. And I think this is why people should be reading more books like this. Kids should be reading books like this. So they can, I don't know, if they're ever in trouble, if they ever feel that they don't belong, it's very easy to identify with a book character. And they stay and think, man, what she's feeling, I'm feeling too. What this character is feeling, I'm feeling too. Maybe this is not okay. Maybe what I'm feeling isn't something that I should be feeling. What if I ask for help? Books can help. Books can save people. Books can heal and can open up someone and can fix problems. I'm going to be talking a bit briefly about some of the recommendations that I have for books that deal with sensitive material. I'm going to keep it very brief. I have talked about some of them before. Books that deal with suicide. We have 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher and Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang. Both of them deal with people that are either planning on committing suicide or have already done it. I won't give away any spoilers. These are both beautifully written. This is more middle grade, so it's more accessible to a younger audience. This is leaning more towards the young adult spectrum, towards the end of the young adult spectrum. But yeah, they are both amazing. I've enjoyed them both immensely. Books that deal with sexual abuse. We have Speak by Laurie Hale Sanderson, and we have Easy by Tamara Weber. Speak is like, this was the first book, well, not the first, but the very first widely known book that has dealt with something like this. And you can actually find some testimonials inside, I don't know if at the beginning or at the end, but testimonials from girls who, after reading this book, have spoken out about what has happened to them. So this is the power of a book. It's important and we should acknowledge this. So this falls into the young adult spectrum. Easy by Tamara Weber falls into the new adult spectrum. I love both these books. Next up we have All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This deals with bipolar disorder and suicidal tendencies. This is a beautiful book that will rip your heart out. I know that some people have spoken a lot about how books like these romanticize in a way these issues, because you have the girl and you have the boy and you have them falling in love and everything magically works itself out, and this shows that it's not the case. For my part, even though I don't know very much about disorders like bipolar disorder, it felt very real and very well represented to me. The issue with books like this is that they're very much either a hit or a miss. So you either love them or you hate them, but that's okay because books like this resonate very much with your personal experience. So if you actually went through something like this, you might not find them as appealing as someone who hasn't, or depending on what you've read or what you've heard or what you've experienced, they may have a very different impact on you. We have Winter Girls by Laurie Hale Sanderson, which deals with eating disorders, anorexia and bulimia. I found this book very, I don't know, it really resonated with me, as I mentioned before, on a personal level, because it actually made me realize that I was very close to an eating disorder myself, and luckily I sprang out of it, so it didn't happen, but this showed me what could have been, and it scared the crap out of me. And I have read some reviews for this book from people that actually said that it saved their lives, so it made them realize where they were going and he stopped. And last but not least, Hate List by Jennifer Brown. This book deals extensively with bullying and involves a school shooting. this school shootings are a very tricky subject because it's just this is what I gather from this. This is what the character who actually committed the school shooting said to me. So we see him through the eyes of his girlfriend, and she saw him as a good person, and he was a beloved son. He was a good person in several people's lives. He was a best friend to someone, but at the same time, good people can do terrible things. And I'm not excusing him, but I think something that's very important in books like this is that they offer a unique perspective to every person. The thing that I would like to see most is that books like these get actually promoted and get people to talk about them and to read them. And I want parents to let their kids read books like this, because they should know what they're facing out in the world. They should know that problems like this are real, that they're not in their head, and that if they find themselves dealing with something like this, they can ask for help and they can identify their issues and just do something about them and know that they're not alone. I will end today's video here. I have missed you guys. I hope this was enjoyable, and I will see you guys next time. And remember, books for the soul, cookies for the tummy. Bye everyone!